We have some information we'd like to pass along regarding the current operations, but first of all, I'd like to turn it over to our city manager, Mike Parness.
Can you guys spell your names when you say them? Please.
That's Randolph, Randolph, and my name is Mike Parness. I'm city manager. Parness is Parness. So I'll start. Just wanted to announce that in response to the emergency that occurred early this morning, we have activated our emergency operations center, and effective at 7:59, we declared a local emergency. The county, I believe, has taken a similar action. We have brought in all available forces in the workforce to come in to assess damage, provide services. The work is underway. We're busy now surveying all of the various complaints that we've received and establishing priorities. We've brought a number of resources in this morning to talk to you. Why don't I introduce John Callanan, who's with the fire department, who is also handling the operations this morning. He can explain what we're doing in terms of responses, and then we have some of the other technical support from police, public works, and other departments if you have questions.
Mike, if you don't mind real quick, what does the declaration, the emergency declaration mean for you? What do you get for that?
The declaration states that we have an emergency. It means that we have exhausted our local resources. We need more help than we can from the outside. We're asking the governor, both the county and the city are asking the governor to declare a state emergency so that we can access resources through the State Office of Emergency Services and perhaps beyond. So it's simply a declaration that determines that we need help and that it's serious. We will be submitting with that declaration an itemized list of the types of damage and needs within the next couple of hours.
Has the governor complied with that?
We've not had communication. We just made the declaration about an hour ago. So we expect that will occur in the future. John?
Good morning, John Callanan, Callanan. Obviously, as the fire chief pointed out, the earthquake occurred. We had multiple structure fires that we've been dealing with, a total of about 6. In one of those incidences, it involved approximately 6 mobile homes together, so that was one single incident. All 4 of the 6 are completely damaged. The other 2 have suffered some major damage. Additionally, we're still in a phase of evaluating the buildings out there to know exactly what we have and where we need to place our priority resources. We have a total of 4 strike teams from local government from the area that are in here helping us out. As was mentioned by the city manager, where our resources are exhausted as far as quantity of on-duty personnel. So in these situations, as happens state and nationally, we call in outside resources for that help. We've had in the neighborhood of, we have right about probably 100 plus gas leaks, power lines down. Medical calls are in the neighborhood of about 80 plus at this time. The Queen of the Valley Hospital has been inundated with patients, all related to the trauma-related incidences after the earthquake. One major incident of a fireplace falling on a young child, a young person, is in critical condition, has been flown out for a neuro center. Our crews, again, are still, we're trying to catch up with the calls. We have a significant backlog of calls. We also additionally have resources from the California Office of Emergency Services on hand, local fire agencies with rescue crews. The specialized urban search and rescue crews are en route here, plus some that are physically in town now. That's about all I have. The Public Works Director is going to come up and talk about the infrastructure issues and go from there. I do not. I'm sorry. I know it was a pediatric, and I do not know the age.
And what's your title?
I'm the operations chief, the Napa Fire Department.
Is that the only serious or critical injury?
There were 2 criticals that I'm aware of, and 2 other criticals. And I don't know the exact nature of them. I'm going to assume this is all trauma-related injuries from falling debris, et cetera.
And is there anybody missing? Anybody you think might be?
We have no reports of anybody missing at this time.
Do you feel the dangerous paths as far as gas leaks and power lines being down? Have you identified all those in the city?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Have you identified all the gas leaks and power lines down in the city? Do you feel like that dangerous path?
No, I believe we are still getting calls of that nature. PG&E is being very aggressive, working closely with us to identify and isolate any known leaks. But as people come home, they get up, they get moving, that's when we're starting to get more calls of this. Additionally, we haven't really seen any aftershocks of significance. We've had some. I understand 2 of them in the 3-point-something range, but they're anticipating up into the range of 5+ for aftershocks. So, and I haven't felt them yet.
Chief, a lot of people out there just looking at the buildings, especially in downtown where there's some rubble. Any word to them about the danger of getting too close?
Yes, please stay away. We've done our best, and we're still working on isolating those areas and taping them off. We've tried our best to close down downtown and those areas that buildings that are obviously damaged. We have teams of inspectors, building inspectors, which again the Public Works Director will get to, that are going to go out and evaluate those items. But you know, it's the common sense side. Please stay away from the buildings that look like they're leaning.
If people feel
At this
unsafe
point.
in their home, what's your recommendation as far as where they could go, a shelter?
There's a shelter in place at Napa High School for now. Maybe call a friend, go to a friend's place. Generally, if you don't smell gas, you're probably safe. So.
Can you give us any estimate of when power will be restored? Have you spoken to PG&E to get a sense of just how long this could take?
I do not have an idea of that.
Would it be the building officials that maybe have a better idea of how many overall structures have been damaged?
Yes, and again, we're in the middle of assessment. I'm going to go ahead and let the Public Works Director come up and speak to that and the status of the buildings.
Could
Okay?
you talk a little bit more about the mobile homes? Did you say 2 were destroyed?
No, total of 6. 4 completely destroyed, 2 others damaged, and that's on one incident. In another incident, there was another structure fire at a mobile home that is destroyed as well.
At a
So,
separate moment?
separate mobile home park. So with that, I'll let Jack La Rochelle come up and answer the further.
Hello, Jack La Rochelle, L-A-R-O-C-H-E-L-L-E, I'm the Public Works Director. First, I do want to say that the reports on the gas leaks that we've gotten, there's been a lot of reports, but PG&E is actually chasing those down. We don't know the actual number, so my understanding is that they have crews working on that as diligently as possible. The big thing that we're looking at right now from a public works infrastructure standpoint is the water main system, our whole water system. There's been reported reports of about 30 water main leaks or breaks. A lot of them in the Browns Valley area, which is west of town, and that's to be expected. That's a geologic area that is more susceptible to some damage. We have our crews out there assessing all those locations. What we're trying to do is isolate those leaks, shut off the water to those areas as quickly as possible. Now, to provide water flow and volume, we've opened up our other water plant up at Hennessy. So we have actually 2 feeds, one from the south, one from the north. Our water plants we're fine. We're not damaged. That's the good news, the upside. So we are feeding water. The tank levels did start going down right after the earthquake. So those have been stabilized and starting to come back up when we were able to get our other plant in operation. What we're doing now is, so the first issue is just getting the water back on as much as possible or quickly as possible. The water is safe to drink. I'd like to say that. And what we're doing afterwards, after we do that part of the work, is then we have to set out a set of assessment teams to go out and assess the damage. My understanding so far is that there's some road buckling issues, but nothing as far as any catastrophic failure of any bridges, which is good news, at least in the Napa area. From a structure standpoint, we again have a team of folks that are going to go out who are our inspectors. We'll get some structural experts to go through and assess properties. We're doing that right now. We don't know how many there are. We don't know what the extent of the damage is, but when we find something that is problematic, we will red tag it, have folks tell folks not to be around the building for safety purposes, and then we'll go from there. We just don't know yet, but as soon as we get that information and it's confirmed, we'll make that available.
Feels more likely that you're going to have 100 or 200 structures damaged than dozens, but could you at least give us a kind of a feel how many have been red tagged? Or
I can tell you that right now, and you know what? That's speculation. I have no idea. You can see some of the damage downtown, some of the older buildings, certainly, some of the unreinforced masonry buildings, but we just don't know yet.
Can you talk a little bit about, I'm not from Napa, but about what retrofitting requirements you have here, and whether those old unreinforced masonry buildings had any required retrofitting? Were they retrofitted and still failed? I know it's early, but anything along those lines?
I can't tell you. I don't know, Rick, if you want to talk about that. Rick Tooker is our charge of planning.
Right, it's Tooker, T-O-O-K-E-R. With regard to the structures, Jack is right. We're out assessing. We don't have numbers to tell you at this point in time as to the number that we've red tagged. What we're really trying to do is just make certain we get people on the street identifying these buildings as quickly as we can. And we're starting really from the center outward, where some of our older structures are. With regard to the reinforcement, our URM, unreinforced masonry program, most of our buildings in the downtown, our older buildings, have been reinforced. We have just a small handful that have not. Whether or not those are the ones that are connected to work that has been done or not, we're not able to say at this point in time. We need to collect the information and get it out to you correctly rather than make some assumptions. I don't know if it's the city manager or, okay, representative from police, be here.
Rick?
Oh, it's gonna wait till you're done. Go ahead.
When were that program, over how much time were those reinforcements recent or years ago? Or?
They varied. I mean, of the URMs that we've had, there have been improvements made to these buildings over time. Some have been as recently, completed as recently as the last 18 months, and others have been done several years ago. So it really just, it varies.
And it's a requirement?
It is a requirement, that's correct.
What's the deadline?
The deadline has come and gone, and so as a result, those very few that have not completed their reinforcement, we've been actively pursuing that by working with them. But like I say, I don't want to draw a conclusion to any of those structures relative to any damage that's out there now. We just don't have enough data to tell you that.
And are you planning director?
I'm the community development director.
Okay, thank you.
So, please.
Hi, Steve Potter, P-O-T-T-E-R, from the police department. I'm the operations captain there, and I would just like to say that our 911 system and all law enforcement public safety systems are operating as normal but enhanced because of this event. I think we have relative calm in the community because of I think a lot of that had to deal with the overwhelming response that we had from our 911 staff, our police officers, and our firefighters who live here in town, who came in without having to be called in. So with that said, we are working on security in the downtown area, some of the shopping centers. We will have for several days a high police presence, and that's to provide service to and assistance to the citizens of town as well as the business owners. Right now we have some street closures downtown from Soskel Avenue to Jefferson Street and from 3rd Street to Main. A lot of that is due to the broken glass that's downtown, the damage to the buildings, and the potential for further damage to take place. The Napa Sheriff's Department is taking care of security at the courthouses as well as the county administrative buildings and at the Department of Corrections. We are very thankful for the community. We've already received a lot of donations as far as lumber to board up windows So that makes our job easier. We've been responding to a lot of alarm calls. When those buildings are secured, it makes it that much easier for us. It helps us provide other service to the community. So, any questions?
Sir, can you say how many 911 calls you've received?
I have no idea, but the system was maxed out for a short time, which is typical. Several years ago, we had an earthquake about 5.2, I believe. At that point, we went through that. It wakes people up, and they call.
What was the chief emergency? Just people reporting there was an earthquake?
They reported some emergency. There were gas leak issues. There were fires. There were a whole host of things that people were calling about that were brought on by this natural disaster.
Any concern about downtown, a lot of the windows and doors had actually fallen off? I saw a couple of officers down there checking out a store. Any concern about people going in and stealing things, looting, that kind of thing?
Not at this point. Like I say, we've had relative calm for this magnitude of an earthquake, and those donations that we've received where they're already starting to board up the windows. We're trying to assist the business owners to come in and assess their buildings and to secure them as quickly as possible. But we have not had reports of looting or anything like that.
And Chief, what would you tell tourists coming up, who are planning to come up here today to get a winery?
Come on up and have a good time. I would check on your reservations at any restaurants or wineries, but you know, up valley and downtown, a lot of it will still remain business as normal, and that's not to take anything away from the residents and businesses that have suffered, but a lot of it will be business as normal. We just ask that they stay out of the dangerous areas where there's broken glass, brick and mortar on the ground where they might get hurt. No other questions? I will turn it back over to City Manager Mike Parness.
Just point of clarification before we close. When we say that there have been 100 gas leaks, those are calls we've received from people that are worried about gas. That doesn't necessarily mean that we've verified that the pipelines are leaking or that there's a hazard. So anytime we receive that kind of call, we go out and check it out. But I want to make it clear that those are calls we receive, not verified leaks. We know that the conditions are evolving quickly, so if it will be helpful, we'll do these kind of briefings on a fairly regular basis. We'll come back around noon, so about every 3 hours until things slow down. And we should have more information. We'll be able to verify, give you a little more detail in terms of the numbers and what's happening out there. In the meantime, for people to receive more information, they can anybody can take a look at our webpage at cityofnapa.org. We have the whole front page dedicated to providing data and details about what's happening, and also the city's public information officer, Barry Martin, can be contacted at 258-7804, extension 7817. That's 258-7804, and that's extension 187. Let's see, what did I say? 7804. Someone is writing this in hieroglyphics here.
258-7817.
7817. 258-7817. Barry Martin.
Just to clarify, when you talk, I know I saw a 7 a.m. news release that said there were approximately 50 gas leaks. Then people here said 100, but was it 100? Was it 100 power lines down and gas leaks total?
Those are the calls that we've received related to power and gas, and we're in the process of verifying and determining what that means. And the numbers are changing all the time. All right, any other questions?
A quick follow-up on your casualties. Do we know from the mobile home fire, I know we may not know the two criticals whether they're in there, but do we know whether there were injuries from that fire?
It's my understanding the injuries, the serious injuries, were due to falling debris. I don't believe they were related to the fire in any way.
Okay, so we know that.
That's correct?
That's correct. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.